Hey everybody, and welcome back to Misfit Corner Scams. This is not a Victory Monday. I do not get to wear my Trevor Lawrence headband because the Jags lost to the Seahawks. And it was rather pitiful. If you want to watch the game highlights, go for it, but I couldn't do it. Anyway, this is a retro scam, but it's actually not a call, it's actually a story. This is a story that I told the guys during one of the live streams back in 2020. I think it was March of 2020. Meeting somebody in person who was literally a scammer. Wasn't somebody who calls you up on the phone, tries to steal your money, but literally walks up to your car and tries to steal your money. Anyway, it's something new, something different. Maybe it'll set the week up for good vibes, and maybe next weekend we'll do better. But anyway, if you run into any of these situations where people walk up to you in the grocery store parking lot or a restaurant parking lot or whatever, just ignore them and get away as quickly and as safely as possible. Beware. All they want to do is take your money, and they're going to tell you stories and they're going to lie to you. Don't give them your money, please. All right, catch y'all next time.
Oh! I forgot to tell you guys my story.
Oh God!
I am so glad you all are here. All right. Okay. Some of you know that I absolutely love getting calls from scammers. Credit card scammers are my favorite. The Social Security scammers are like my second favorite. They did start calling me again, by the way. It dried up from the Social Security office for several weeks, but I got a call from them just recently, but they ended up hanging up before I got a chance to talk to anybody. So at least I'm back on their call list, which is fantastic. I love it. Well, I got to experience a scammer in real life, almost face to face. But and the sucky part about this whole story is I thought about pulling out my phone and recording it after the guy had already run off. But here's the story, okay? There's a guy in the Arlington area. He's a skinny, older, I'd say he's probably in his late 40s, mid 50s. He's a bald guy, and he comes up to people all the time, and he's always on his cell phone, and he gives you this sad story about his daughters at Wolfson, and he needs to get there, and he doesn't have enough gas, or whatever the story is, right? So I've actually seen this guy 3 times. Twice at Golden Egg Roll, which is my favorite Chinese restaurant around the corner from where we live. And then I've seen him a 3rd time at Best Buy, in the Best Buy parking lot. And the first time he told me the whole spiel, and he told me how he was over, because across the street from the Golden Egg Roll is the USO. And he was telling me how his car's broken down at the USO, and he's trying to get enough money to get to Wolfson because his daughter's in the hospital. And I'm like, oh. And then my thought is, why don't you ask somebody at the USO to give you a ride? I don't get it, right?
No, I don't get it.
And that's usually when he breaks down. He's like, screw you, whatever. Well, the second time he came up to me, it was in the same parking lot, and it was very dark out, and he was in the shadow, and I swear he came up to my car, and he's got his phone next to his head, and he says, "Hey, sir, I wonder if you could help me. My daughter is at Wolf's." And I said, "Yeah, I know. You've told me the story before." He said, "Sir, I have never met you before in my life." I said, "Oh, yeah, you have." So he turned around and walked off, right? Yeah. The 3rd time I've seen him, it was at the Best Buy parking lot, where he came up to me, and as soon as I saw him coming up to me, I put up my hand and said, nope, not going to happen. And he turned around and walked away. Well, today I swung by Best Buy just to see what they had, just to see what was going on. And I saw him walking around the parking lot, and he was kind of, when he does it, he's trying to get your attention and trying to make you feel sorry for him. And if he can see you eye to eye, he knows he's got you, and he'll come up to you and he'll start talking to you. Well, I just ignored him. I didn't even look up at him, but he went over. I was parked on this side, and on the other side, there was a young lady getting into her car, and he walked up to her and started talking to her, and I saw him, and she was very captivated in what he was saying, and and I couldn't hear what he was saying because he actually had his back to me, and as I was walking to go into the store, I stopped, and I turned, and I'm right in her eyesight, so she can actually see me over his shoulder, and I'm looking at her, and I'm shaking my head like this, nope, and she sees me shaking my head no, and he sees her looking past him, and he turns around, and I'm shaking my head no. And he's like, "What are you shaking your head no for?" And I said, "Is your daughter still at Wolfson?" And he, okay, now let me ask you a question. If you are legitimately trying to get money because your daughter's at Wolfson, and somebody asks you that question, your reaction is not going to be, "Well, where's your daughter at?" Because that's what he said to me. It's like, "Where's your daughter at?" And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
You know? And I turned and I looked at the girl and I said, "Ma'am, he's a scammer. Don't believe a word he says." And he just started to book it. He started to leave. And I'm like, and then I start walking into the store, and I told the guy who's up in the front at Best Buy, "Hey, you got a guy out there harassing your customers." And he goes, "Damn it, I told that guy to go away." And so they've had to deal with him before, right? And then I'm like, "Damn it, I should have got out my phone and was recording the whole thing, because that would have been perfect." But I screwed up. I didn't do it. Hey everybody, and thanks a lot for checking out the video. If you like the content, click the subscribe button and hit the bell for notification. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Thumbs up, thumbs down, either way, and we'll catch you all next time.